Hello, welcome back everybody. Let's have a look at some of these coins. We're going to look at XRP and Bitcoin, and we'll work out in our heads what that means for the rest of the market. Because these two seem to be relatively decoupled at the moment. XRP doing its own thing, and Bitcoin obviously dictating the general health of the entire market. What we need to look at first of all is we'll look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is and everyone I've noticed has got a completely different opinion to each other. Some people are bullish, some people are bearish. What that generally means is that no one really knows. And I can give you my 2 cents on it, but I mean, personally, it's neither here nor there. I have an overall bias that we're going to go down in a longer term time frame based on the weekly MACD, which is actually diverging itself away in bullish territory. So it doesn't mean that we're going to be having a calamity event or anything like that, but generally, when we look at historical performance, when we have these crosses, I mean this one, don't count that one, but when we look at the ones in the past, yeah, when we have been in bullish territory and we have had a cross, we've had a top, we've had sideways action, we've had a cross, and then we've had continuation. That's generally the overall picture, and that's how I'm mapping this one out. So I'm not saying that we can't reach 11,000, 11,200. I'm not saying we can't reach that. But until we break out of this uptrend here of resistance, which has been basically support and resistance for over 2.5 years, getting on for 3 years now, it's not turbo bullish time. And when we get above there and we're proven to be supported above there, then yeah, it'll be very difficult for me to be bearish on this. At all, really. That is the overall trend line that needs to be broken, and at the moment we're kind of in this what do they call it, a speakerphone sort of trading range, which could end up being pretty volatile, pretty aggressive over the next year or so, because we're on this. This is a weekly, so it doesn't mean that it's going to actually play out this way, but it could. And this is one thing you've got to be aware of. It's not something that plays out very often, but this could be your resistance, this could be your support, and we could see a trading range similar to that. It's very unlikely, but that could happen. But what we really have to be aware is that this is a support and this is a resistance, and until this resistance is broken, it's not going to be a support. But it has been a very reliable support in the past. Boink from there, boink, 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 all the way there, boink from there, but then it's just been resistance thereafter. But that's fine. That's what that trend line is. So again, on the weekly we've got this negative cross here, and this is likely to diverge. And in my book, over the next few weeks, we will see a lower value Bitcoin. Doesn't mean that it's going to have to happen. That's my take on it. And I appreciate there's a lot of people out there that are bullish, and I'm bullish on the very long term. But when you see something like that, it's worth. For me, it's something that I need to be very aware of, because it's I tried to generally trade on the longest term time frames possible, because I don't sit on my computer trading all day. I'm not a day trader anymore. I'm too busy to be a day trader. As much as that would be great to be one, I'm just not. So I have to plan these things out, weeks and months in advance. And similar to a hodler, apart from a hodler that sometimes sells, so that's basically what I am. So that is the Bitcoin situation. Overall down without being super bearish. We could move all the way up to 11,000 or beyond, but we will not at this moment come anywhere close to this trend line, which this week lands at 12,440, which would be almost a new high for this year. Don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. Let's move on to XRP then. So XRP has been doing all the moves, and I get a lot of heat for the last video I made on this one. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Some people saying, "Oh, it's only a 10% pump." It's a 10% pump when the market generally is down, and if you look at the market at the moment, that it's generally down, and XRP is doing okay. So it's showing very positive steps of being strong again. Okay, and I said this a while back. I said, look, when we break out of this trend line here, it will be a different XRP to the one you've seen before. Well, not before, but the one that you're probably used to, which is basically a long sort of situation of consolidation. Basically looks like it's dying and dying off. But I mean, that's what you would expect from something that went from essentially half a cent to $3.50 or thereabouts within a year, which is what it did do. It did that. It actually did that. So, when you see something move that phenomenally, you need some consolidation. So we had to consolidate, and we've been consolidating all that time, and then eventually we've broken out of it, and a period of accumulation, a run up, and then another sort of, I suppose, period of accumulation. Now, what does this mean, though? Does this mean that this is the start of something new and amazing? Well, if you've looked at my XRP market cycle video, it's a bit of a posh video. It's not like one of these. It's a bit more a bit glossier, I'll leave a link above, somewhere above my head. If you've watched that, then you'd kind of understand what my take is on this. But if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. There's definitely value in that video. And basically what it's saying is that yes, there is a market cycle for XRP. It's a 4-year cycle like Bitcoin's, and within that 4-year cycle, unlike Bitcoin, it spends the vast majority of its time consolidating. So about 70% of its time it consolidates. It's done this before. This is the second time it's done it, and then in the last 6 months it comes back to life quite dramatically. It's done it before, it's doing it now. And again, we're in what I would consider to be the accumulation phase of XRP, and this accumulation phase is anywhere in this zone all the way up to 85, 86 cent. All of that is an accumulation zone. As soon as we peak above 85, 86 cent, then you go parabolic, and that'll be the last few weeks of its market cycle. That's what it did before. It's likely, it's done that twice before. It's likely to do it again. That's the market cycle. These things are cyclical. They run on cycles. Bitcoin market cycle is different. It is a 4-year cycle though, and they do correlate with their timings, but they operate in a different way. But they both have a 4-year cycle. Bitcoin is basically meant to spend 1 year in consolidation, 3 years going up. XRP spends 3 years going down and basically 1 year going up, more or less. So that is an overview of it. So that's Bitcoin and that's XRP. And what we are doing right now is we're out of the consolidation phase. We're in basically almost the final stages. We're going to have a period of accumulation from now for another 5 or 6 months. And then we'll start to see some really decent moves from it. So I'm not expecting anything phenomenal to come out of this, even though it was a nice move this last couple of days. It has been pretty nice, but it's not special. It's not unbelievable. I mean, this was good. This was a nice run, definitely. And this was showing that actually we've got a different XRP now. Something has changed. But to me, at the same time, I was saying, yeah, things have changed. I told you they've changed. We've broken out of the consolidation phase. We're in accumulation phase. Now what we're doing now is basically still in that accumulation. Are we going to break above this blue box zone? I don't think we're going to do it this time. I think with my general overview of the way that I think Bitcoin's going to perform over the next few weeks, which is likely to be down, then it will bring XRP down with it. Despite the strength that XRP has been showing, it will bring it down. But can XRP make it up to the blue box territory, which is 28.2 cent? Yeah, I think that's very not very likely. It's very possible that it could do that. When we look at the all these other indicators that we've got, so the RSI is looking very constructive at this point. The MACD is coming closer and closer to the 0 point, which is going to be very bullish with a nice divergence away from themselves there. Money flow index is shooting up quite rapidly, actually. In fact, I would probably say maybe a little too fast, but that's still good. It gives it that momentum to make that big move up, but when it gets to a certain level, it'll come down just as fast as it came back up. So maybe what we'd like to see is a bit of a sideways action around this price, staying above the 200 exponential moving average, which is basically 23.5 cent. But, like I say, you've got to look at these two assets together as well as separately. Separately, XRP looks okay for a bigger move, another test to it's just above, maybe it's high today or above 26 cent. But generally speaking, I'm not going to get too overexcited because it's not its time yet. The market cycle does not suggest that this is any time to get overexcited. In fact, it just says that this is just part of its accumulation cycle. So purchasing it around this level is okay. Don't expect anything massive until the third quarter of next year. That's when really things will start to take off. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Like I say, watch my video on the XRP cycle, and I hope you have a nice day. And I'll be making more videos on a new exchange that I've found, which is really good. It's a margin trading account. I'll leave a link below. It's epic, and I'll be making some videos on that because it makes things like Bybit completely obsolete. Really, it's new, and it's basically far superior to that of Bybit. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Take it easy.